Wait a minute, did we equally work on this bike?
Every time I come out here, Vinny's doing a job and you're holding his hand.
Me and him split everything. We started yesterday.
Get your hands dirty for a change. Do some welding and grinding instead of watching everybody else do it.
Thanks to the reality TV show American Chopper, we all know who Paul Teutul Jr. is. At age 20, Paul Jr. rose to celebrity status after American Chopper went global. Paul Jr. worked with his father, Paul Teutul Sr., at Orange County Choppers, a family-run company in Montgomery, New York, building chopper-style motorcycles. Aside from being a family-owned business, the shop is also where the reality TV show is filmed. American Choppers is famous for the brawls between father and son. It's partly why the show grew so much in popularity. The feud between Paul Jr. and his father resulted in Paul Jr. being fired from the family business, followed by a lack of communication between the father-son duo for a decade. However, in 2022, Paul opened a new LBI shop in New Jersey. Join us as we delve into why Paul Teutul Jr. opened this new shop.
Every bike that needs to get built gets done. Everybody's working at all times. And you know what? 10 years. This is the kind of stuff we've been dealing with for 10 years.
Paul Teutul Jr. was born Paul Michael Teutul on October 2nd, 1974, to Paula Teutul and Paul Teutul Sr., the founder of Orange County Choppers and a central figure in the TV series American Chopper. He has two younger brothers, Daniel Teutul, who owns Orange County Ironworks LLC, and Michael Teutul, who also appeared on American Chopper. He also has a younger sister named Kristen Teutul, who works as a nurse in Rochester, New York State. Paul's relationship with his father has been rocky right from the start. Paul Sr. struggled with addiction, which created some tough times at home for Paul Jr. As a kid, Paul tried coping as best as he could, finding religion and becoming a born-again Christian when he was 12 years old. But that didn't help much. He slipped into the dark side and struggled with the same problems his father struggled with. However, Paul Sr. cleaned up his act in the mid-80s and has been sober since. But for 4 years, Paul Jr. was alone in his struggles. At age 16, Paul found himself in rehab, and with the help of his mother, he managed to turn his life around. He backed up his faith and kickstarted his path to fame in the motorcycle world. Despite a strained relationship with his father, Paul still decided to follow in his father's footsteps. As soon as he was old enough, he signed up to be an apprentice at Orange County Ironworks and received formal education at a vocational high school, focusing on learning the art of welding. Paul Jr.'s journey into Orange County Ironworks was a challenging start. When he joined, his roles included menial tasks like cleaning the shop, sweeping the floor, and running errands. As Paul Jr. spent more time in the shop, he proved his worth, and the mundane task he was required to do paved the way for a meteoric rise. He was awarded a promotion and found himself at the helm of the railing shop. Here, he was supervising, crafting, and painting railings, honing skills that would soon catapult him into the realm of motorcycle design. The turning point came when Paul Sr. recognized his son's innate gift for building and designing beautiful, extraordinary motorcycles. Realizing the potential a collaboration of this kind holds, they decided to take the leap. In 1999, Orange County Choppers was born as a venture built on familial bonds and a shared passion for crafting the most unconventional and mind-bending motorcycle builds. Little did they know that this leap of faith would evolve into a lifetime of arguments and fights that made the reality TV show American Chopper very popular. Unlike most shows where the drama among cast members is scripted for the viewer's entertainment, the drama between Paul Jr. and Sr. was 100% real. And as Orange County Chopper's popularity grew, people couldn't wait for the next episodes to see the arguments between Paul Jr. and his father. Regardless of the brawls arguments, Paul Jr. alongside his father worked on some pretty exciting builds. Some of the most insane bikes on the show included the Comanche bike, the Black Widow, and the World of Warcraft bike. Before the start of the show, Paul Jr. and Sr. were worried about how their bickering wouldn't look good on TV. They thought the viewers would only see the drama rather than the shop's expertise on creating some of the best chopper-style motorcycles. When the pilot episode aired, it had the highest ranking of all the TV shows that aired that night. The first season premiered on March 31st, 2003. Somehow, despite their differences, Paul Jr. and Sr. managed to create a format that most shows today now follow: drama mixed with automotive artistry. The show showcased the craftsmanship behind the motorcycles, but also delved into the dynamics of the Teutul family, creating a balance and blend between personal drama and automotive artistry. The drama unfolding between Paul Jr. and his father, Paul Sr., reached an unexpected climax in September 2008, forever altering the course of their already rocky relationship. On what seemed like an ordinary day, punctuality became the catalyst for a chain of events that would become one of the biggest unscripted fights in reality television history. Paul Jr., who's usually late, found himself in the crosshairs of his father's frustration. A routine reprimand from Paul Sr. took a sharp turn when, in an attempt to defend his work ethic, Jr. passionately asserted that even if he strolled in fashionably late, the job got done, and without him, the shop might as well go up in flames. The tension escalated as Paul Jr. picked up a chair and threw it against the wall before storming out. This was all captured on live TV, raw, unedited, and uncut. In the aftermath, an angry Paul Sr. said some not-so-nice words before severing ties with his son on the spot in front of the entire staff. In the following days, Jr. faced a notice of default for his unplanned exit from the show, despite subsequent contractual modifications that allowed his return to the show under certain conditions. Paul Jr. bid farewell for good in 2009. The falling out was nothing short of messy, involving legal battles and a lawsuit that resulted in Jr. signing a year-long non-compete clause. The feud persisted for a decade, a frosty silence prevailing between father and son. While that silence was going on, both father and son were having a different kind of war in courts. Clearly not satisfied with just firing his son from OCC, Paul Sr. took his son to court, trying to get him to sell his 20% interest in Orange County Choppers Holdings, Inc. This move came in January 2009, months after Paul was fired. The duo had agreed to define their professional relationship so that they wouldn't violate their contract with Discovery Channel. The document Paul Sr. presented included a clause granting him the power in his sole discretion to buy out Paul Jr. at the fair market value. While the case was ongoing in court, Paul Jr. founded his own company, which he called Paul Jr. Designs. He waited until his non-compete had expired and was very happy to finally be free of his father. At Paul Jr. Designs, Paul was doing what he loved doing best without having anyone yell at him, and he was having a blast. Paul Jr. Designs was already up and doing well when Paul Sr. tried to get Jr. to sell his shares in OCC. Sr. sued Jr. in court, but the court ruled that what Paul Sr. called an option to force Paul Jr. out of the family company was not valid and enforceable. So this ruling meant that Paul Jr. got to keep his pressure on OCC without any pressure to sell. After his initial exit, Paul was persuaded to make another appearance on American Chopper. Reality TV executives tried to milk this father-son relationship even further, and on August 12, 2010, American Chopper Sr. vs. Jr. premiered on the TLC channel. This new series focused on the tension between Paul Sr. and Jr. and their companies. Realizing that fans of American Chopper were eager to see how the father-son relationship was turning out, Discovery Channel also jumped on the bandwagon. The new series explored the dynamics of the relationship between father and son after they fell out. However, in 2018, the two would bury the hatchet and reunite for the revival of American Chopper, but they learned an important lesson, keeping their business dealings separate. In a bid to expand Paul Jr. Designs' reach, Paul Teutul Jr. opened up a new Paul Jr. Designs retail store located on Long Beach Island. The new location is the second for Paul Jr. Designs and opened earlier in the month. Paul Jr.'s custom motorcycle designs from the show can be found in the showroom of this new shop. Walk-in customers can also buy merchandise. Aside from this new location being a second location for Paul Jr. Designs, it also features a kids' corner set up by his son. His wife, Rachel, would also relocate her Oliver Ann boutique to the location. Paul intends the new shop to be a retail-only store and will keep the Montgomery, New York location.